Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are here for another video today. We're starting a new mini-series. This one will be called FOIA Files, short for Freedom of Information Act. The Freedom of Information Act allows U.S. citizens to request sensitive and classified documents from the U.S. government to be declassified and open for the public. Now, of course, there's probably many hoops you have to jump through, getting it to the right people, possibly even paying fees to get the information released, but it is possible and doable. Some of these files come from the CIA, FBI, and other branches and entities from the government. It can also give good insight into figuring out what the interests of the government are at any specific time. And the documents we're going over today are going to be from the project Stargate that they worked on with the CIA. The government at the time had a very huge interest and fascination in psychics. Psychoenergetics is what they call it. And everything underlying within that branch, dealing with remote viewing, astral projection, telepathy, and so forth. So, as strange as these topics may sound to us, the government put a great deal of budget into actually investigating and trying to figure out how valid or viable these options were. Now, there has also been speculation, because of the timing of this, as to whether or not the government was serious about these findings. Many of this took place during the Cold War. So, one theory is that the government did this to have Russia purposely spy on them, thinking that these were serious endeavors just to waste their time and resources. Whether or not we're talking about the validity of these findings today, we are simply covering the raw data of a particular transcript that took place. On May 22nd, 1984, the CIA conducted an interview with a self-proclaimed psychic who specializes in remote viewing. Remote viewing is when you are able to transcend and view different places and different times through what I guess they would call the mind's eye, something like that. So today I will be reading you the transcript of this actual interview between the CIA subject, who will go by Mon or monitor, and the psychic, who will go by sub or subject. The way that this session was planned was that the subject directly before the interview, was giving a sealed envelope. Inside of the envelope was a time and place that the subject was supposed to remote view towards and report back their findings of what they saw. I will apologize in advance to you. I will be looking down a great deal during this video because I will be reading the transcript and following as closely as possible as I can to give you the actual raw recording and the raw interview. Without further ado, let's get into it. ROJ for 5/22, May 22nd, time 10:09 a.m. That was Mon. Mon, plus 10 minutes, ready to start. That basically means about 10 minutes went by. All right, now, using the information in the envelope I've provided, exclusively focusing your attention now, using the information in the envelope, focus on 40.89 degrees north, 9.55 degrees west. Sub. I want to say it looks like I don't know. It sort of looks, I kind of got an oblique view of a pyramid or pyramid form. It's very high. It's kind of sitting in a large depressed area. Mon. All right. Sub. It's yellowish, ochre colored. Mon. All right. Move in time to the time indicated in the envelope. I've provided you and describe what's happening. Sub. I'm tracking severe clouds, more like dust storms. It's geologic problem. Seems to be like just a minute. I've got to iron this out. It's really weird. Mon. Just report your raw perceptions at this time. You're still early in the session. Sub. It's looking at after effect of a major geologic problem. Mon. Okay? Go back to the time before the geologic problem. Sub. Total difference. It's before there's no, I don't know. Oh hell. It's like mountains of dirt appear and then disappear when you go before. See large flat surfaces, very smooth angles, walls. They're really large though. I mean, they're megalithic. Mon. All right? At this period in time now, before the geologic activity, look around in and around this area and see if you can find any activity. Sub. I'm seeing, it's like a perception of a shadow of people. Very tall, thin. It's only a shadow. It's as if they were there and they're not there anymore. Mon. Go back to a period of time where they are there. Sub. Mumbles. It's like I get a lot of static on a line and everything. It's breaking up all the time. Very fragmentary pieces. Mon. Just report the raw data. Don't try to put things together. Just report the raw data. Sub. I just keep seeing very large people. They appear thin and tall, but they're very large, wearing some kind of strange clothes. Mon. All right. Now holding in this time period. I want to move from your physical location in space to another physical location, but in this time period. Move now to 46.45 degrees north, 353.22 degrees east. Again, 46.45 degrees north, 353.22 degrees east. Sub. Deep inside of a cavern, not a cavern, more like canyon. I'm looking up the sides of a steep wall that seemed to go on forever. And there's like a structure with it's like the wall of a canyon itself has been carved. Again, I'm getting a very large structures. No intricacies. Very huge structures or sections of smooth stone. Mon. Do the structures have insides and outsides? Sub. Yes, it's like a rabbit warren. Corners of rooms, they're really huge. I don't feel like I'm standing in one, it's just really huge. Perception is that the ceiling is very high. Walls, very wide. Mon. Real time plus 22 minutes. Yes, that would be correct. All right. I'd like to move now to another location nearby. All right. Move from this point in time to 45.86 degrees north, 354.1 degrees east. Again, 45.86 degrees north, 354.1 degrees east. Sub. They have appears to be the end of a very large road, and there's a marker thing that's very large. Keep getting Washington Monument overlay. It's like an obelisk. Mon. All right. From this point then, let us move to another point. Move now to 35.26 degrees north, 213.24 degrees east. Again, 35.26 degrees north, 213.24 degrees east. Sub. It's like I'm in the middle of a huge circular basin of the range mountains by almost all the way around. Very ragged mountains, very tall. Basins, very, very, very large. Scale seems to be off or something. It's just really big. Everything's big. Mon, I understand the problem. Just continue. Sub, see just a right angle corner to something, but that's all. I don't see anything else. Mon, okay. Then let's move into a little different place, very close. Move from this point you are now in this time to 34.6 degrees north, 213.09 degrees east. Again, 34.6 degrees north, 213.09 degrees east. Sub. The cluster of squares up and down, it's like you want to make them square anyway. They're almost flush with the ground, and it's like they're connected. Something very white or reflects light. Mon, what's your position of observation as you look at this thing that reflects light? Sub, I'm amid an oblique left angle. Sun is weird. Mon, look back down at the ground now, and we're going to move just a little bit from this place. Just a little bit from this place. 34.57 degrees north, 212.22 degrees east. Very close by. Again, 34.57 degrees north, 212.22 degrees east. Sub. It's like I can just perceive like a radiating pattern of some kind. It's like some really strange intersecting kind of roads that are dug into valleys, you know, where a road is just a little below the edge. Mon, tell me about the shapes of these things. Sub, they're like real neat channels, cut. They're very deep. It's like the road went down. Mon, okay. Now I notice electrically you're nulled out a little bit, and I want you to stay deep and recapture your focus here. Sub, it's really tough. It seems like it's just always very sporadic. Mon, I realize that. It's very important that you maintain your focus. I have a movement exercise again for you, and this is some considerable distance away. So holding the focus in time, remember the focus in time that you had before and moving now to 15 degrees north, 198 degrees east. Take some time and get back deep. See the intersecting, whatever these are, aqueduct type things, these rounded bottom carved channels like road beds. See pointed tops of something on the horizon. Even the horizon looks funny and weird. It's like different, misty, like it's really far away, very vague. Mon, okay. Another movement now to 80 degrees south, 80 degrees south, 64 degrees east, 64 degrees east. Again, 80 degrees south, 64 degrees east. Sub. See pyramids. Can't tell if it's overlay or not because they're different. Mon, okay. Do these pyramids have insides and outsides? Sub. Got both, and they're huge. It's really it's an interesting perception I'm getting. Mon. Now, what the Mon is saying right here is basically what I think he has in his head or what he reported back. I don't think he really said this out loud in the interview. So I think that he's losing his ability to move accurately, but he is attracted to things that are interesting. So we're going to go with his own. We're going to let him go ahead and explore what seems to be interesting to him rather than move on the targets indicated here. Sub. It's filtered from storms or something. Mon. Say that again, sub. Sub. They're like shelters from storms. Mon. These structures you're seeing? Sub. Yes. They're designed for that. Mon. Alright? Go inside one of these and find some activity to tell me about. Then about, 37 minutes went by. Different chambers, but they're almost stripped of any kind of furnishings or anything. It's like strictly functional place for sleeping, or that's not a good word, hibernations. Some form. I get real raw inputs. Storms, savage storm, and sleeping through storms. Mon. Tell me about the ones who sleep through the storms. Sub. Very tall. Again, very large. People, but they're thin. They look thin because of their height, and they dress like in, oh hell. It's like a real light silk, but it's not flowing type of clothing. It's like cut to fit. Mon. Move close to one of them and ask them to tell you about themselves. Sub. They're ancient people. They're dying. It's past their time or age. Mon. Tell me about this. Sub. They're very philosophic about it. They're looking for a way to survive, and they just can't. Mon. Plus 40 minutes. Definite voltage reversal. Sub. Can't seem to get their way out. They can't seem to find their way out. So they're hanging on while they look or wait for something to return or something coming with the answer. Mon. What is it they're waiting for? Sub. There evidently was a group or a party of them that went to find new place to live. It's like I'm getting all kinds of overwhelming input of the corruption of their environment. It's failing very rapidly, and this group went somewhere, like a long way to find another place to live. Mon. What was the cause of the atmospheric disturbance or the environment disturbance? Sub. I see a picture of like a, oh hell, it's almost a warp in a, oh god, this is difficult. It's like going, let's see. Mon. The raw data? Sub. Oh. I get a globe. It's like a globe that goes through a comet's tail, or it's through a river or something, but it's all very cosmic. It's like space pictures. Mon. Alright. Now, before you leave this individual, ask him if there is any way that ask him if he knows who you are and if there are any way you can help him in his present predicament. Sub. All I get is that they must just wait. Doesn't know who I am. Think he perceives I'm a hallucination or something. Mon. Okay. When the others left, these people are waiting when the others left. How did they go? Sub. Get an impression of don't know what the hell it is. It looks like the inside of a larger boat. Very rounded walls and shiny metal. Mon. Go along with them on their journey and find out where it is they go. Sub. Impression of a really crazy place with volcanoes and gas pockets and strange plants. Very volatile place. It's very much like going from the frying pan into the fire. Difference is there seems to be a lot more vegetation where the other place did not have it. And different kind of storm. Mon. Alright, it's time to come back now to the sound of my voice into present time. to right now, the 22nd of May, 1984. The sound of my voice. Move now, back to the room, back to the sound of my voice. Back further, now to the sound of my voice on the 22nd of May, 1984. End scene. Whew. What a crazy interview, right? So, I didn't want to give you the title of this actual document and the interview because of the twist of it and what he was supposed to be viewing. So, what he was supposed to be viewing, according to this, was Mars. The planet Mars. And give me just a second because I want to tell you the time. I think it's at the very top of the document. Yeah. He went to the planet Mars, time of interest, approximately 1 million years BC. So, from what I heard, the reason why they did this is because they really wanted to BS this guy. They planned on putting this inside of the document, and they thought that he was going to say something like, "Oh, I see, skyscrapers, and I think what is that, the Twin Towers, or is this, the arch, or I don't know, whatever." But no, he ended up seeing all of this other weird stuff according to the documents. So they tried to pull a fast one on this guy and basically just BS him and say that, you don't really see what it is, you're not a real psychic. And turns out this guy claimed to have seen people trying to flee the planet Mars and find a new home to live inside of a spaceship. Even saying that he was speaking to some guy, but the guy didn't really believe he was getting spoken to. So he was just like, I guess I'm tripping. I guess I'm hallucinating. I don't know. But I just think it's a very weird document. So please tell me how you feel about this craziness in the comments below. But yeah, this is the beginning of FOIA files. And again, like I said, this is stuff that you can just go find in the vaults. Like, the government themselves release these files. Whether or not they're valid, whether they're just all misinformation, I have no clue. But let's at least have some commentary and discussion and speculation about it below. Other than that, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I really hope you comment, share, like, subscribe, all that good jazz. Even if you drop a comment that tells me my sweater is stupid, whatever. Want to hear your feedback. Until then, have a great day, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.